In the book Turn the Ship Around, David Marquette flipped the script. Instead of his crew asking him for permission, they started saying, I intend to. It created responsibility, confidence, and initiative. His crew stopped waiting and they started leading. There's a great quote by the legendary Les Brown. If information was all you needed, everybody would be skinny, rich and happy. Who versus how? Who is what drives change, not how. I'll show you why today. Okay, post of the day is this one by Rami Goldratt, Elo Goldratt's son. Our team solves problems quickly. So what Dr. Elo Goldratt would always say was, then why do the same problems return if you're solving the problems quickly? It's because they're not solving, they're reacting. How was the answer? Why do we have the same problems that keep coming back in the construction industry? You see them all the time. Look around LinkedIn, there's a new summit or a new convention or a new expo, and everyone's got at these things the how to fix it. We have how, way too much of it. We need to actually get rid of some of the how. People getting bogged down in how. How, focusing on how, is the slowest and the lowest probability of actually creating change. Want it to happen with the highest probability and with speed, you need the who. You might even be walking past the who out in your paddock every other day. Dr. Elo Goldratt always asks that question. If we know how to do it, if we do solve problems quickly, why do they keep coming back? You're probably thinking, we do. We solve problems on our projects quickly. I'm going to ask Dr. Elo's question. Why they keep coming back? We've already got frameworks, Benny. We've got systems, people focused on this. So why do the same problems keep coming back? This isn't a knowledge gap. It's just the nature of the job. So why do the same problems keep coming back? Don't have time to slow down and rethink how we're doing it. That's the only way you're going to get time to do it properly, is to stop and improve. I've actually improved this process here. Used to call it stop and fix. What gives you the you-know-whats? The reason why I use that word, the you-know-whats, is because it's tied to an emotion. So it's a trigger for people to stop and actually improve. My problem with the word fix is when we think that we fixed something, like he's saying here, if we've solved it or we fixed it, we think it's done. We never have to deal with it ever again. Same level of thinking that creates a problem, fixes a problem, can't be used to, same level of thinking that creates a problem can't be used to solve it. We think that we fixed it, then we cap ourselves off and we never ever look at how we can improve it moving forward. I've improved this process by removing the word fix and put, if you've got a problem, stop and improve it. If we change how people operate, what happens when it goes wrong? I'd say that's a good question to start asking. Where you are now, you've moved through these 4 levels that you've got to get through, which is this solution is counterintuitive. You go, hang on a sec, maybe he's right. Maybe all the how that we've got isn't actually doing anything and we need the who's. Conflicts with the current busy measurement that we measure everyone on. Maybe we do need to stop and improve what we're doing, not just keep trying to barge forward. You've got past the fact that this is going to remove our best excuses for why we can't deliver things on time, and now we're down to here. Fear of blame. If we do this and it doesn't work, who's going to take the bullet for it? Okay. Demo. Impact Plays. If you haven't read this book, Impact Plays by Liz Wiseman. She has two types of players, contributors and impact players. I'm not a fan of the grading, the A, B, C, D. Someone was doing that yesterday and just, it doesn't work, I don't believe. Anyway, I'm going to do an episode with Jason Schroeder on that very soon, on the, I think it's about cause 5 of the 12 causes of project failure, which is team members. Impact players don't just do their job, they do the job that's needed. They don't wait for direction, they step up, take control of it, and they step back. Let the team play better. Impact players, when they're on the paddock, everyone's a better player because they're on there. That's my bet, not Liz's. They escalate issues, your contributors do. The impact players just get it done. They execute flawlessly. They finish stronger. They don't just stick to what they know best. They ask and adjust. And they make the work lighter, make it easier for everyone. I have 4 things that I'm looking for in an impact player. One I stole from the All Blacks is no dickheads. Are they humble and are they coachable? That's what a who needs. I need both of those. They think like Arnie. Be useful. They're not afraid to experiment, test things, try things out, improve. They think and they plan. Down here, these guys down here, react. If it's not getting fixed, I mean, if we're so good at solving problems quickly, reacting, why do the same problems keep returning? Why do we stay down in this corner down here where 70% of change management fails? And the other 30% that gets a little bit of traction tends to end up back in here as well. The slowest and lowest probability of actually working. They lead without authority. All right, let me tell you a story about this guy called Damo, absolute legend, this bloke. He didn't even call it lane, he didn't call it scrum, he called it 6-piece. Old school, real old school, construction workers. Proper preparation prevents, you know what, poor performance. I was talking to when I went on to this project and we're trying to turn things around, I was going on about verifying full kit. Make sure we've got everything before we start. Look where the waste is. Where's the non-value added activity? How do we increase this? The value added activity. How do we create flow? Right? One of my schedulers that was working with me on my team says to me, hey Ben, there's a guy out in the field that's already doing all this that you're talking about. So what do you mean? He says, go out. He says, I'll take you out and you watch his team work. He says, before he starts his particular job, 2 days before, he's down in the laydown yard. He's prepping everything, getting everything laid out. Everything's marked up. There's no waste. He cleans his entire area up on the job before he starts. There's nothing up there that he doesn't need. No excess inventory. Everything's laid out, prepped up, marked up, ready to go before they even start trying to lift anything or put a bolt in. He says when they do actually install a frame, they have to use a crane and they had to get up on ladders to unsling the load. He said his team don't even need to talk. Everyone has their spot. They'll go and stand in their different positions. They've got the tools that they need. They've got the bolts that they need. They've got everything and only everything that they need to perform the task that they're going to do. He says the load slings in, lowers down. Everyone does their job. Not a word spoken, or rarely. Everyone knows exactly what they're going to do, how they're going to execute that part of the job. Like clockwork. There's never any rework. They make little jigs up and everything's checked off and they have checkpoints where they ensure that everything that they've done is spot on. He said they even go to the point where they set the next shift up. He said they'll have everything set up for the next shift, all the bits marked out, everything, down to the point where they've actually got water bottles loaded in the area where they know these guys are going to work at night, so they've got water. Fresh water there for them as well. Demo, his name was. The exact same thing that I was trying to get everyone on the job to do was already happening out there. People were walking past it on a daily basis. I walked past it, didn't even realise that was going on. As soon as I saw it, learnt to see waste and flow. As soon as I saw what this guy pointed out to me, how they created flow, and they'd already reduced their waste, I used to be able to go down to the laydown yard, look at how the stuff was laid out and go, Demo's been over in that corner over there. All that stuff's set up for his job. Some people used to get frustrated with him because the first 2 days of when he was actually doing the job, he didn't just rip, bust, tear and try to start throwing stuff up in the air. He took his time to think and plan first. When it happened, it just used to flow. It was effortless. There was no run around, oh, where's the 26mm ringy? Where's the podgy bar? Where's the bolts? Where's the spacers? There was none of that. It was all there, ready to go. Verified full kit before he started. I'll guarantee you, you go out on your job right now, there's at least a couple of people like that. These are the guys, they're the who, guys or ladies, are the who's that move with speed. They're not trying to move fast. Get sucked up into everyone's chaos. No one realised because everyone was measuring how busy. Busy was the measurement of how well people performed. Far too often, what we call high performance is just people that are highly reactive with a lot of opinions, creating a lot of noise. I need to speak to Whiff's good mate of mine, Joseph Schroeder, taught me this one. Attack the process, not the people. Be hard on the process, not the people. We have created a process where we celebrate and we promote people that do this, create opinions and noise. Demo was doing this. Physics and data were his signals. His team did the best work. No rework. Always spot on. That's what the data said. He looked at the schedule. He was always start, finish when he was supposed to. In and out, completed, walk away. No rework, no punch lists, nothing. Done, complete. In fact, he often had to do rework other people's work. Always used to go and check and make sure of the verticality of what he was installing was right first, and quite often had to go back and fix work before he could move forward, because he knew if he just kept moving forward, it was going to create a bigger problem down the road, further on the job. How is not the problem. We've got too much how. We've got departments full of how. Universities, our universities in Australia are full of people that know how to solve the world's problems. You just ask them. What we need is the who's, the catalysts that stealth teams form around, like Demo. How to stealth team around him, man. You wouldn't even know most of these guys if you walked past them. There was nothing stand out about them. They weren't like this. They didn't have a lot of opinions. They didn't make a lot of noise. They got their job done. They did it well. They did the right thing at the right time and did it without rework. Exactly what you want. We had those teams on every project. We would deliver them without drama every single time. All right. That is your key thing to do today. Have you run ORCA? Get out in the paddock and find your demo. He or she, doesn't matter. Do they understand flow? Do they understand waste? They might not call it that. I guarantee you, they've got a little formula, process locked in that someone taught them that they followed. For Demo, it was the 6 P's. That's why he learnt. I think he was a chippy by trade. That's what the old, when he was an apprentice, he had drilled into him. Have you run ORCA on your project with your project team yet. I'll create a GPT tool that you can take and use if you want to run one with them to step them through the process. Just DM me ORCA tool or drop comment below ORCA tool. Get across if you're not following Rami Goldrat as well, and I'll link to that post in the comments when I'm done here. Follow Rami. Get his latest book, Mastering Flow, which is the follow-on from his dad's work. That was his dad, Dr. Eli Goldrat. I've got that as well. That sits up on my shelf. Theory Constraint Handbook. He's written some books, a lot of books. The Goal, Critical Chain, all stuff that's absolutely essential. It's all based on physics. That's why we know that it works. Should get that. Actually, tomorrow, what I'll do is I'll bring a little video for you on physics. Show you exactly how it works. All right, let's get into our ORCA. We don't need that, we don't need that. Don't need to be looking at my email. Didn't prep this up very well, did I? ChatGPT, ORCA phase 2. Let's go. What day on? 14:15, day 116. New ORCA debrief. Oh, I finally got it right, and that's not the right word. Should have been run. Run ORCA debrief. Might have made an improvement here. No. We'll just copy paste. Oh, it did pick it up. Day 116, 116. It is Thursday, the 19th of March, 2026. Time is 10:33 a.m. We're in Beanie's office. Upload a photo of the preview, shift. The whiteboard from yesterday, and it will strip our tasks out and ask us if we've done them or if we've not. This needs improving. It shouldn't be asking me for a definition of done here. For the definition of done is that the live is published to YouTube and LinkedIn. Two, handover notes are completed. Handover notes are completed so that I can copy and paste them, give them to mocks. What don't you understand about that? The handover notes are written so that I can copy and paste them and give them to mocks. Critical focus time card was completed inside Trello to confirm that I'd spent the 50 minutes on Claude. Yes. It's just asking me if the action's completed. The reason that we do a definition of done is so we can say, is it done or is it not done? If you go back and watch yesterday's, I tried to make a few excuses and you saw what happened when I did. Yes. This will be, this get a bit rote, me doing it by myself, but it still burns a habit in, and the improvement between now and when I started is massive. The gap between what I did on day one, where we are now on day 116, has kept me focused on exactly what I need to be focused on. We've got 13 days till the end of Q1 2026. Who's still focused on their New Year's resolution? The number one thing that they said they were going to get done this year. Who is still focused on it? Put New Year's resolution if you're still focused on it. Yes. What is the objective of this mission? The objective of today's mission is to do a meeting for another potential WHO position. Yes. That drives directly at my primary objective. What results did you get? The meeting's booked in and I'll attend the meeting at 11:30 a.m. this morning after this live's done. Yes. Consistency. Execution of focused tasks that I've got every single day. I have not drifted or gone off on choose my own adventure on what I need to make happen for the first quarter of 2026, because I'm using this process and following it every single day. Consistent daily execution of focused tasks, no drift from defined priorities, daily use of ORCA process to maintain direction. Yes. Your actions on a whiteboard. All right, let's go. There is our rag and our pen. Guess what? We're doing again today. Tomorrow. Run another live. 9/8, handover notes. Or you wait till you see what we're doing with Claude next week. This is going to get rid of that. Claude, 50 minutes learning Claude. Yep. So it's not going to finish. I'll keep punching those out. Ordinary things, when done consistently, produce extraordinary results. ORCA is an ordinary thing. That's Keith Cunningham's quote. Charlie Munger said it another way. There's an old two-part rule that often works wonders in business, science, and elsewhere. Take a simple, basic idea, ORCA, take it very seriously. 116 of them I reckon. It's well and truly on the way to taking it very seriously. The lives must be published on LinkedIn and on YouTube. Handover notes must be written, ready to copy and paste across to mocks. A Trello card must be completed on my Trello board, confirming that I've done the 50-minute session. So he's written a brief that I could then put into okay, ORCA Wingman. This is not your usual remit, but I want to ask you this question anyway. We do this every now and again. What percentage of people, so we're on, this is day 116 straight of doing ORCA. One day that I didn't do it, which was the 25th of December 2025, which was Christmas Day, I deliberately decided not to do it. The live wasn't part of the streak. Doing the ORCA every day is. We're now 13 days from the end of Q1 2026. What percentage of people have done what I've done, stayed on track, executed, let's call it their New Year's resolutions? Mine's my Masogi. I wasn't worried about a New Year's resolution. I don't do one. That's why I started back in December. What percentage of people are still on track with what they intended to do on January 1 at this point of the year? And how many people, what percentage of people do you reckon could go live 116 days and only miss once? This is not to talk me up, this is to talk up the process. I have a very specific goal, certain process that is out of the book, intentional. I have a big outcome, or what Christian Burkoses calls a destination goal, which is to win the school games. I have process goals, which are broken down, let me show you, into what's known as packs. So I'll work on them for 10 days at a time. See those there? Right. So I'm halfway through and I tick those off each day. Dates across the top here. Did some little experiments, YouTube live on the phone. Really wasn't driving me to where I wanted to go. Building rituals in school, I'm still doing that. We did a little experiment for 10 days on that. I started doing a neuroscience course. It was all about math. It wasn't what I needed to do. That's why it's crossed out, it's gone. Now I'm into Claude. On critical focus time per day. So I track packs, process goals, and also track my rate of progress, which is I want to get 100 hours of live in with ORCA. So that's split into 15-minute blocks. Today I'll be able to tick off probably another 2. So progress-wise, we're doing extremely well with that. If you're still using SMART goals, reach out and say, show me how to do intentional goals. He won't do it because he's been told he's not allowed to do anything other than an ORCA debrief anymore. So, process is working. All right, take it, use it, get out on the job right now. So you stop watching this video, go out, get about the how. How are we going to change, make change happen? Go out and find a who. Who will make change happen? Take it, use it. Make a great week. Speak again tomorrow, Friday tomorrow. So tomorrow is the invite. Tomorrow, it's like, am I the who that you need on your project to get this done? Speak soon. They're 4 metrics that we're going to measure, which are going to give us a health check on our project. Project manager should be able to go to this and look at it. This is the thinking behind the way that I built this, is 1% of a 24-hour day is 14.4 minutes. So if we eliminate all of the waste, you'll need to come back to the screen back here. If we eliminate all of the waste, the 90% of waste that is in his day or is in the process of trying to mitigate the 12 causes of project failure and drive the 9 rules of project flow, we get rid of a lot of that. He should be able to, in 14.4 minutes a day, he can go to, back to here, look at his Trello board, look at his TAC plan, review the metrics for full kit, engagement, handoffs and constraints, and have an exceptional idea exactly where his project fits and where it's tracking on those things within 15 minutes, 1% of the day, of the 24-hour day. 14.4 minutes, he should be across everything.